Hello. It is time for some art. For me to continue drawing the bug. Bug! Or bug ref. Hopefully we'll finish it, but like... I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. Potentially. I think it'd be nice. I'm having a bit of a predicament though, because I think I might change the arms, the little arms. But I'm mostly having a predicament because I'm currently preparing for my anniversary in May, and yeah. I have to consider a lot of different things, like some changes, updates, all that good stuff. So I don't know how long my current ref sheets will be available, but if things go according to plan, then what I will do is technically all previous refs will be canon, but like they just won't be up to date, if you catch my drift. Oops. I need to mess with my microphone. Hold on. I need it near my face, but I also need it like not in the way of my hand. Because I'm a lefty and this fucking sucks. Let me see, hold on. I need to redo that. I need to just, you know what, I just need to redo this. It will be on a separate layer just so like that'll all be separate. But like, oh my goodness. Some interesting little updates have been happening between Wednesday and today. Yesterday, like at probably like around midnight, I made a couple of new accounts related to streaming stuff because, you know, I'm preparing for my anniversary. And I am very unexpectedly getting attention already, and I'm a little nervous about it. It's just so unexpected because everything's been so quiet up until now. But like, I'm preparing for my anniversary, and a big part of that is like building up hype so like more people can see what the heck's going on. And who knows what'll happen by then, but like I'm just it caught me so off guard. It just caught me so off guard. Like I haven't even done anything. I just made the accounts. And it's just you know, I'm not used to it and it's a lot, but it's good. It is overall good. I'm just very surprised. But ooh, speaking of updating things in preparation for the anniversary, I'm going to be changing my Twitch username in the next couple days. I will also be making an announcement on my Discord server accordingly. And I'm hoping that this change will help with just ease of searching me up and just in general make all of my streaming related stuff connect better. So chances are my current username I will just be using for like personal casual stuff, and then my VTuber username will be separate. So now people won't mix up my Twitch username and my VTuber name. Excuse me. And I'm hoping to make this change within the next 2 days. And I wanted to say this on stream so I can clip it, so if anybody's like, who is this? They could see that like, oh, this was previously this person, but now they're this person. There we go. So anyway, my old username whenever you're watching this, this is very time-sensitive information. My old username, Sweet Little Boba Tea. It is Lil Lil, which now that I'm doing content creation stuff, I realized it's not a good choice because not everybody's gonna get that. Because Lil is such like a 90s 2000s kind of thing. That's very much outdated. Nobody ever shortens little to Lil anymore. I don't know. I'll find a better way to clip that. I just need to remember to do that. But I have big plans, and just a heads up, next week I will be streaming, but the week after I will not be streaming. I originally wanted to stream the whole week, but got work to do. I've got to prepare for stuff, and that unfortunately means that I need to make some sacrifices. But yeah, I will not be streaming the week after next. So like this upcoming week will be my last stream until a small week hiatus. Just so like I can use that free time I have available to really start preparing better. Because I have a lot of stuff that I need to do for the 1-year anniversary. And I want to make it good. I want to do a lot. And I want to prepare. And I don't want to just be like, oh my god, happy 1 year. Anyway, I want to actually like do a whole big thing. Cause that's a big deal. Cause like whenever January came around, I was just like, oh my god. My 1-year streaming anniversary is coming up. Holy shit. And then earlier in February, cause now it's March, earlier in February, I was like, oh shit, I need to get on the ball with this. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And then finally on the 29th, I was like, I know what to do. I know what I need to do. Ding, ding, ding. I have brain cells. But, I'm just so excited. Because that's also whenever I finally get out for this semester. And that'll be really nice because it's just all super convenient. May 15th is a wonderful anniversary time-wise because it's just so... It just works. It works, you know? Like a birthday, but for my VTuber. Actually, I should probably do like an outwing raft. Actually, you know what? Actually, I know what to do. Open the wings up on a separate thing. And I'll just open up one wing, so I'll probably cut this piece of the ref sheet in half. A big part of preparing for my anniversary is also just improving my presence on social media. So that's one thing I've been doing a lot of. Within like one day, like a lot of people are like, oh, who's this? And it's just like, ah! Hi! I don't know, it's just a lot, but I'm excited. Let's see, how can I make the bug wing? Bug! Yeah. it's a bit difficult sometimes, but I kind of have to socialize, and I do enjoy socializing sometimes, but sometimes it's a little intimidating. Like with social media, you gotta be a little careful, but like then you just need to be careful in general most of the time. Actually, I think I might bring the shell up here. It unfurls like that. I don't know. I would need to look at an image of a beetle to really get a good feel for how the wings would work. Let me see, actually. You know what? I have a phone. I can look that up right now. Beetle wings. Ah, look at them. They're so cute. Oh, I see. Ooh, bug feet. Alright, so that's how beetles open up their wings. So I need to bring the shell back down. That's what I need to do. So really, I can actually just... There we go. Wait, wouldn't all of them be feet? Maybe. I don't know. The term feet is a little subjective once you leave, like, mammals and birds. Like, mammal and bird territory. It's like, what really does constitute as a foot? And I think... Oh... I know that there are some bugs that, like, have actual, like, proper limbs for grabbing. Like mantises and stuff, but like feet is very much based on like this like plantar type design that a lot of mammals have, like the ball of the foot and then like the ankle and the knee, or like the heel and the knee. Yeah, something that stabilizes you on your limbs. That is a very... Yeah, but then that would also constitute hands as feet in certain situations as well. And I know that some people like to call, like with their pets, they're like, your front feet! My cat's front feet! And that makes me cringe. But like, it just... what is a foot is a little bit up to interpretation. But only a little. I think what I might do is like create some webbing that lines up with the wing pattern. Feet can be hands, but remember hands evolved from feet. They do have pretty much the same structures, aside from like one bone, which is like the patella, the kneecap. I don't know why that's like a thing with the legs, but not a thing with the arms. Like, why don't we have like a cap for the elbow? Well, I mean, like, there's technically a part of the elbow that's like the bone sticking out to prevent it from bending the wrong way. But it's not as like secure as the kneecap. So like, it's interesting. Yeah, they have hands, feet. They do. Yeah, they've got little... They got like opposable big toes. Because like, they use those to climb trees, and humans evolving from hominids lost that feature because we decided to evolve into like an upright stance for like scavenging and hunting instead of climbing. So a lot of primates still have those hand feet, so they can like climb a lot easier. But like, if you've ever seen a little bit of like anatomical differences between people who have trained those skills, like you'll notice that like climbers usually have very flexible feet, specifically so that they can like grip onto stuff better. It's really interesting. it's just interesting from like an anatomical and biological perspective, because it's like, wow, you just straight up like manipulated your anatomy in your favor. That's so cool. Biology's crazy. It's also like how gymnasts usually have, I believe they're, oh no. My bug VTuber's built wrong. I'm just kidding. But, it's also another good example is how, gymnasts usually have different, slightly different, like their spines work a little differently as well. Like, I believe like the segments of the spine are slightly more further apart. Like the cushioning between the vertebrae is a little like thicker because the spine can move around a lot more if you train that kind of thing. Not to mention ballerinas, they have crazy stuff going on too. Like, unfortunately, one big thing about getting into ballet is that like you have to train your body in such a way that you can develop like chronic issues like regular cramping, or like your joints freezing up if you don't like constantly stretch and stuff, which is unfortunate, but that's what happens whenever you dedicate your entire being to such an old art, such a traditional art. Humans invent crazy shit. Humans like to push themselves beyond their limits. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. Oh my gosh, yeah, very good point actually. Feet are very important, and I've had, hold on, I had to throw something away. Give me a moment! Feet are actually extremely useful, and I've had foot issues in the past, because of my hypermobility issues. So I have a very complex relationship with my own feet, and that's why I'm so indifferent about people liking or disliking feet, because I just don't care. They're just very useful, and you need to take care of them. Like, they hold up your entire body. If you listen, this is how it works. If you fuck up your feet, it fucks up your knees, and it fucks up your hips, and then it fucks up your back, and then it fucks up your neck. This shit affects everything. Your feet are literally holding up your entire body. So like, if you have like chronic back problems or knee problems or hip problems or even like upper back or neck problems, it could be something in your feet. Surprise, because that's something that happened with me. Very, very useful part of the body. Yeah, it's very, very like, that's something that gets neglected a lot. I feel like, especially here in the United States, is that a lot of people tend to neglect foot care because this is such an important part of the body. I need to fix this right here. I'm just gonna put that there. But yeah, like I'm gonna tell my foot story now. What happened with them. So, I am 90% certain that I have a chronic hypermobility disorder, and over time I've been able to figure out like things that are like not just like haha quirky things, but rather things that are actually caused by what I've secretly had my entire life. Like, for example, I remember having creaky joints as early as like 9 years old. And I started experiencing chronic fatigue at 8 years old. So like, I've had these symptoms for a very long time, but I thought they were normal. I thought maybe I was just imagining things. I thought I was maybe lady. I don't know about that. I think more from the lack of healthcare availability. But back to my foot story. Whenever I was about 16, my health decided to just tank completely. Just it utterly like just shat itself. It was very, very awful. And when I was about 17, I started having these issues with my feet. Actually, no, I was 16 when it started, and I was 17 whenever it got like really bad in the rest of my body. But I had to briefly wear a boot in high school because of the mystery issues I was having with my feet. And I went to a podiatrist, get my feet checked out, and I got x-rays, I got the examination, all that stuff, and like whenever the lady was feeling up my feet to see what was going on, I think it was my right foot, she checked first, and she was like, relax, and so I relaxed, and she checked my foot and wiggled it around, and then she went to my left foot. What's funny is that it was my right foot that was in the boot, but surprise, she went to check my left foot, and she said, relax, and so I relaxed, and then she went to check it, and she said, relax, again, and I was like, I am relaxed, and then she was like, uh-oh, there's something wrong with this foot, and I was so surprised, like, what? But it's my right foot that's in pain. I might be mixing up my feet. I don't actually remember which one it was that was the bad one, because I was 16, and now I'm 22, so it's been forever. But, yes? Good night. My dad's going to bed. He wanted to say goodnight, so he hopped in. He was like, good night. But anyway, so yeah, it turns out the problem was in the foot that wasn't in pain, which was wild. Because what happened was, because of my hypermobility, what can happen apparently, and this is not something this is something that is like something that probably virtually nobody considers, but you can be so hypermobile that like if your joints move enough, you can become hypomobile. Like you can lose mobility in certain areas of your body because your joints have shifted so much that they just cement in place. And that's exactly what happened with my foot. Originally, she was like, oh, your arches are falling and that's what's going on. But like, what? Why? And it wasn't until like a couple years ago that I was like, oh shit, this is because of my hypermobility problems. Because like the joints in my feet do sometimes shift a little bit, and I had to wear arch supports for several years because of the issues that was happening with my feet. So that was interesting. Ah, fuck! I just realized I deleted these wings. Uh-oh. Aw. Uh-oh. Shit! I got so in the moment that I forgot that those weren't our separate layers. That's fine. We can just use this as the wing ref. That's fine. Actually, I won't have this partially out. I'm gonna... Oops! That's the wrong layer. Oh hush. I'm so like in the moment. Like, I got distracted. I got distracted. Alright. Let me fix this real quick. This'll be the wing ref. That'll be nice. There we go. Wings! The wings! But yeah, that's the tale of one of my many debacles with my hypermobility issues. It really sucked. Like, I remember my chronic pain got so bad that I had to go to the ER a few times because it was just so bad, but I wasn't treated well. I am in a much better state now. I don't have to use my arch supports anymore. I have very little chronic pain now. and my general like musculature. I've found ways to really like supporting my body and just taking care of it in a way that like minimizes my issues, but there are still certain things that I just can't do. Like I can't do high impact activities. I can't do push-ups because my shoulder joints aren't very structurally sound. Like there was this one time about a year ago now, actually, I attempted to do push-ups. And I did like maybe 3 or 4 or 5. I don't remember how many. But I fucked up my shoulders really, really bad whenever I did it. It wasn't even that many, and I was on my knees. Like that was just too much for my shoulders. And like I can't really lift my cats above my head either. So I do still have certain limitations. But overall, I am in phenomenal shape compared to how I was back whenever everything started falling apart. I think probably the lowest point I was at with my chronic pain was whenever I was 18, and then things slowly started improving after that. I'm getting that muscle mass slowly, very, very slowly. It's just very difficult to build with hypermobility problems because, like, if you mess up, you set yourself back an insane amount, and it's a little scary because, like, you make one mistake, and it can really like domino effect and really mess you up. So I've always taken my time with that kind of stuff, but I am much stronger than I used to be, and I'm very, very proud of how things have been lately. And now I can erase the hidden things. Really make those wings show. Sweet. Excuse me. Wings. I don't know what I'll do about the tail from the original ref sheet. I don't know what to do with that. Actually, I maybe hold on. Yeah, I shouldn't have erased that shoulder, that bit that's sticking out. Except for maybe here. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I'm slowly but surely getting better. Like, I don't deal with chronic fatigue like I used to, which is like the best improvement because I can do shit. It's so nice. Your brain turns radioactive. You're a radiation hazard. OMG. Alright, let's see. Ooh, actually, some of this needs to be erased too. Can't believe I have a radiation hazard in my chat. That's crazy. The wings! It's kind of like a cape. Yeah, but a cool thing about improving on my physical health is that it's helped immensely with my mental health as well. That is so true! I didn't even realize that. That's so true. I think I might clean this up a little bit. Is this the right layer? That is not the right layer. That's this layer. Layers! So many layers. There's too many layers, like an onion. games have layers. Like an onion. Can't do a fucking Scottish accent right now. I'm my heritage. I can't even do that right now. I'm just so giggly. Bug wings. I think I might just merge this layer down, just so I don't have to worry about clicking onto a different layer just to clean up something else. Ah, there we go. Let's see. I don't know. I'd like to work on my... I don't know if I'd be able to do something like that. I know you're asking as a joke, but like... I don't know if I could do something that highly detailed. Cause like, I usually draw hands and feet from like a distance, like this. I don't know. That's something I can learn how to do. I am learning how to do more detail on certain things. Like there's this project I'm doing for one of my classes. It's this big foldable thing, and I drew these really big wings on it. And the wings took me like 3 hours to fully draw. It took a very long time. As like there's just so many details, and I wanted to make sure I got them all. I wanted to try to do something super detailed for that project. And I did it successfully. But it took so long. I don't really understand how some people are able to just consistently draw like super detailed stuff sometimes, cuz like it takes so long. I don't have the attention span for that. I mean, some of my things take a little while as well, because I do like cleaning up certain things, but like they usually don't take too long. I think what I'll do is in this like wing pattern, I think I'll like make it a slightly darker color than the like outer area of the wing. I don't know. We'll see. No, I did not. It cuts off at the... here, actually, I can show you right now. No, there's no full model for my PNG tuber. Let's see, V2. Warning, it's magenta, very bright. Yeah, it cuts off right down here. Yeah, no feats on that. I don't really like using my PNG tuber as a reference anyway, specifically for that reason. I only use it as like maybe a color reference. I has nobody! Dun dun dun! There's nobody. It's all just a floating half torso. OMG! But here's hoping that like whenever I start working on my anniversary stuff that like I'll be able to do some more like full body stuff. Make some more full body type references and stuff like that. And some actual assets. Like my little other screens. Then I share like my starting soon, my be right back, my farewell, and my technical difficulties. Those all feature the full body. But they're just little screens. There's nothing super special about them. I don't know, I have big plans for my anniversary, but I don't want to spill too much because I want it to be a surprise. Excuse me. I do have some plans for some things that I'd like to do. If I wasn't joking, how much... I don't know. Let me look at my old commissions sheet, because I do technically have a commission sheet, but like it's outdated. Let me see. For feats only, I'd probably make that about the same price as a bust. So like a fully rendered piece with feats would probably be about like $45 to $50. I don't know. I might be underpricing myself a little bit with my commission sheet. That's why it's old and outdated, but it also has my old art, and my art style has changed since then. Yes, monies. Hold on, let me clean this up a little bit. I forgot to fix this ankle. Yeah, you need to be down here. The pains of being poor. Yeah. Ah, precious monies. I was thinking about changing these little limbs, but I kind of like them as is. Little arms. Little bug arms. Might change the mouth a little bit, like, I don't know, let's see. Kinda actually want to copy paste another thing. You. Or no, you. Maybe. I was thinking about like doing a closed version. Where like they're like closer to the face. Wait, no, not that. Copy paste. There we go. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Because we're going based on this. So like, might keep hitting the microphone, I'm sorry. The pains of being left-handed. Let's see. Oopsie. Whatever. Yes, lefties! I guess something like that would work. So it's like hiding certain things. Ooh. Dysgraphia. Hold on. I think I know what that is, but let me look it up just in case. Dysgraphia. Oh! I see. Yeah, I can see that. Ooh, I think I might have known someone who had undiagnosed dysgraphia in middle school and high school. Because the moment I looked at that, the moment I looked at the examples, I immediately thought of somebody I used to be friends with. And like, he had awful handwriting. Like, I was the only person that could read it. It was very messy and like, it was messy and there were spelling mistakes everywhere. And it was very big and just very sloppy, but like, I completely understood what was being written because I also have very messy handwriting, but not messy to that extent. I don't have dysgraphia messy. No, they bullied you? Are you kidding me? I fucking hate it when teachers do that. Like, are you kidding me? You're a grown-ass adult. Why are you bullying children? Children to teenagers. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Especially bullying disabled students. Like, that shit's crazy. Like, you seriously decided to just be an asshole. Like, why? Like, I feel like some people get certain, like, caretaking jobs specifically with the intent of being an asshole. And it's just, it fucking sucks. Yeah, there's definitely like thinking of dysgraphia. Yeah, he totally probably had undiagnosed dysgraphia. And I remember people joking like, "Oh, you're only able to read his handwriting because your handwriting is also shit." But there was a big difference. Like, mine was just messy because my brain moves a little too fast, and I would sometimes miss letters. But my handwriting wasn't like all over the place, and I'm really good at spelling. It's just sometimes I move so fast that I accidentally skip a letter. So anytime there are misspellings in my handwriting, god damn. Oh my goodness, I went to a racist elementary school. That shit was wild in hindsight. But yeah, like the big difference with my handwriting is just the fact that I just write too fast. Now my handwriting is much more organized because I don't have to write like a giant essay in 2 hours. And ADHD brain does not help with trying to write fast. Damn, it must have been really tough at that school. Because I remember... Oopsie. I remember at the elementary school I went to multiple elementary schools, but this one in particular, I remember it was most of the students were white, but I remember the few black students that were there would constantly, like, get singled out for, like, being quote-unquote bad, or, like, being punished and, like, put in the back of the class, or, like... This was a school that still did paddling. I was in elementary school towards like the end of paddling as a disciplinary system in schools. Like, I remember getting out of elementary school and finding out that like paddling was being very quickly phased out of the few schools that still had it because it was technically inhumane. I heard people getting paddled sometimes, and that shit was terrifying. I remember the first time I was at that school, I was in like 3rd grade, so I was 8 years old, and like when I found out that paddling was a thing, I was like, what? What? They can do that? That's terrifying. I was a very scared child in that school. I realistically would have never gotten paddled because I did behave, but like that shit was terrifying. Even just as like a potential possibility. What? What the fuck? That shit's crazy. I'm so glad that you don't have to deal with that anymore. Honestly, the elementary school that I went to, that one specific elementary school, I wonder if it's like even a thing anymore. I don't live anywhere near that school anymore. It's like several states away, but like it was very outdated, and technically it was next to an even older building, which was the previous elementary school building. But even the building that I was in was still pretty old. It was technically multiple buildings, but like they were kind of gross and old and they fucking sucked. But I don't know anybody that went to those schools anymore. A little fun fact, I technically went to the same elementary school that my great-grandmother went to. My paternal great-grandmother. I remember my grandpa being like, your great-grandmother went to this school too! Isn't that cool? And I was like, ah, wow, this place is old as fuck. And it very much reflected that age through their general, like, treatment of students. High school daily. Whoa! Had the N-word on the walls? It got so bad it blew up online. Whoa! Oh no! Got bombing threats too? Holy shit. That is insane. I will say that does also remind me of the fact that people at my high school really liked putting swastikas on a lot of things. Like they'll just randomly just draw them either in pencil in textbooks or like in the dust on somebody's car. That's such like a, I don't know how common that is in other parts of the world, but that feels like such an American thing. To just be all like, I'm so edgy. Look, I drew the swastika incorrectly in the fucking textbook. Yeah, but I will say, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because yesterday, after I had my lunch, I was heading to my second class of the day. I saw one of those poorly drawn swastikas in the dust of someone's car. On a fucking university campus. So it isn't just kids and teens. Sometimes adults still do it. And it's like, huh? And so I was thinking about like what to call those very poorly drawn swastikas. And I was thinking of like, swirstickies. Like, haha, you tried but you failed. Congratulations on being an asshole. An edgy asshole. You failed. You tried, but you failed. I don't know, it's crazy. People are crazy. Hold on, something ain't right here. Hold on. Aha, I figured it out. You weren't down far enough. Ooh, I just remembered something I found out last night. I haven't played a Metroid game on stream yet because I don't have a capture card or anything, but I am a huge Metroid fan, and There was just really good news released about Prime 4. It's going to be released in the summer, and I'm so excited. It's been so long since that was announced. That was announced like way back in 2017, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's about goddamn time! But like, yippee! I'm so excited! I went to see my wife. I would like to see my wife. I would like to see her go shoot shoot, pew pew. I would like to see her again. For a sketch, let's see, it should be about 15 to 20, according to my outdated sketch sheet. Yes! I was correct. I really need to update this because, like... Excuse me. I don't even use that canvas size that I used to use. Cause, like... Oh shit, I just realized I forgot a slide in my commission sheet on Instagram. It should have the full things on my whatever it is. Let me see, my official, it should be in my official art tab. Let me see. Where is it? Might be near the beginning. Let me see. That's not it. Nope. Where is it? Where is it? Ugh, I don't think I ever posted it in here. No, I remember now. I have a commissions tab. That's right. No, I just don't have the high or the low resolution. I'm pretty sure I originally made like a high resolution version and a low resolution version, but I forgot the low res version and I just have the pixelated version instead. Yes, give me all your minis. Just kidding. Also, I forgot the inside mouth details. I think I might bring it, like, I think I might bring this out a little bit more. Let's see. There we go. That's better. Bug stuff. What are the bug humanoids based on? Just various bug features. I wanted to base the wings off of beetle wings because I like beetles. But I think the general mandibles would be based off of more like predatory type insects. I like to think of maybe something like something akin to like spiders, but not quite, because their mandibles are not like that at all. Trapjaw ant. Hold on, I think I know what those look like. Trapjaw ant. Ooh, yeah. These guys will fuck you up. I remember these. I think Coyote Peterson did a like video where they bit him and they like snipped his fingers all to hell. Youch. Yeah, those things are pretty crazy. And they go like snap. Definitely a ferocious bite. It's not quite like those, but that's cool. That's a cool comparison. I don't know, I guess I thought of spiders because, well, like spiders and crabs because, their mouth parts are more like dynamic. They usually have like multiple joints and they move more complexly. All that good stuff. That's just where my comparison came from. Ooh, pill bugs. I haven't really seen the mouth parts of pill bugs. Pill bugs. Yes, the good babies. The little ones. The little cuties. They're so cute. They're so round. Oh, that's right. Hold on. Where are you? Yeah, the giant isopod. That's something that has some really interesting little mouth parts. Giant isopod. I'd love to see a VTuber that's themed based on the giant isopod. They're so silly. And I looked up pill bugs and then the deep ocean giant isopods came up. I love them so much. They're just big, sillies. Your mouth parts are more complex. Any sort of marine arthropod, that's when the mouth parts get more complex. It's really interesting. And the deep sea crustaceans and arthropods. That's when things get more interesting with the mouth parts. Just drawing a little quick reference on how that mouse might open. What that mouse do? It eats soup. I've been on a real big soup bender lately. You eat soup and looks spooky. That's what that mouse do. Might update the eyes a little bit as well, but I don't know yet. We'll know when I start coloring it, which I kind of want to do right now. I don't remember which layer this was, but whatever. Oh god, that creepy ass thing. Yeah, I remember the first time I saw one of those, it was a picture of a fish with an open mouth, and I was just like, ew, no! Get it out of there! You're not supposed to be in there! That is not a place for a bug. He spooked me. It was all like, what the fuck is that? It's bug time! Or rather, color time for the bug. Oop, hold on, that's too high. I don't know why aquatic bugs seem more like pleasant to learn about and see than land and air bugs. I guess it's because they can't fly. That it's like, oh, look at that thing. A little crawly. And also it's in the water, so like you're less likely to run into it. I don't know why, but I just started thinking about coconut crabs. Because those guys, oopsie. Those guys are very large. And I remember when pictures of them started circulating and everybody was like, those things are fucking terrifying! And they just like to eat coconuts. But apparently, they're filthy thieves! They like stealing shit. Like, if they want something, they will get it. They will get their little not little, their big grubby claws on it. If they are determined enough, they will get a hold of the thing that they desire. Like, I've seen a video of like a whole shit ton of them raiding some like outside party. Just a whole bunch of them, like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? There to ransack the party. And apparently they do eat things other than coconuts. So, like, the whole theory of Amelia Earhart being eaten by crabs, coconut crabs, that's not like a totally unfounded theory. I wonder why bugs would choose to be non-flying. Like, breeding is crazy with flying bugs. They swarm in billions. Oh, yeah, like locusts. The textbook breeding swarm. That stuff is crazy. The stuff of myths and legends. I guess it's just like, it just depends on what's advantageous depending on like the area and the resources. And sometimes shit just happens. Ah, wait, hold on. That's right. Sometimes crabs are not crabs, and sometimes not crabs are crabs. Is the coconut crab a crab? You made a very good point there. Coconut crabs are a type of hermit crab and are the world's largest terrestrial arthropod, up to 3 feet across. Unlike most other hermit crabs, only juveniles use shells to protect their abdomens. Older coconut crabs develop a hard skin. They cannot swim and will drown if immersed in water for long. Is a coconut crab a true crab? Also known as robber crabs. Oops, hold on. I do not want to make an account with Quarat. Also known as robber crabs for their habit of stealing food from inattentive campers, are not true crabs. They are members of the group that includes hermit crabs, known for living in discarded mollusk shells. Coconut crabs do this when they are young, but as they grow, they give up their habitat. It's a false crab. They're thieves and liars. They have such like innocent sounding names. It's a coconut crab. It eats coconuts. But then it's like, haha, joke's on you. They're criminals. Yeah, I tend to forget that there are certain critters that are called crabs but aren't actually crabs, and then there are critters that are technically crabs but they are not called crabs. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 species of true crabs that aren't called crabs. And then like there's some species of crab that's currently going through decarcinization. So instead of carcinizing, well, it's not actually, I don't even know if it's a true crab or not. It's so confusing, but it's currently going through the process of decarcinization, where like a lot of crustaceans would go through carcinization of developing the signature crab body and shape. And they are undoing that for some reason. It's really interesting. I don't remember what species it is though. But yeah, I remember hearing that coconut crabs like eating birds. I don't remember if those are... Yeah, they are. Did I make the hair the same color? I did! Oh! That's easy! Sweet! Making things easier for myself. Yeah, coconut crabs are wild. I think my favorite, like, arthropod type creature is the mantis shrimp. They're a bit intimidating, but, like, they're kind of cool whenever you learn about them. Is it the mantis shrimp? That rainbow bitch! Mantis. Oops, mantis shrimp. Yes! That is the one I was thinking of! Yes. These shrimps are crazy. Like their punch is like as strong as like a 45 caliber, and they have like I think like 14 different types of like color receptors or something. They can see everything and punch the shit out of you. One punch shrimp. It's crazy. Nature is crazy. I love biology. It's like you can learn some wild, wacky stuff. Hmm. Da-na-na. Da-na-na-na. I love crustaceans, and I love arthropods. They're just so silly. They got exoskeletons. The silliest of invertebrates. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Oh, I forgot to put the hair. Yeah, like 16 different codes. Yeah, to our 3. And some of us don't even have all 3. I have all 3, but there are a lot of people out there who don't. It's really interesting. I think the rate of color blindness might actually be going up. Let me see. Color blindness rates. Yeah, every 1 in 12 men and 1 in 200 women. If if you're a man, fuck you. You can't see colors. I don't know why I feel like I've heard somewhere that like color blindness is becoming more prevalent. I don't know why. And also I think the reason why color blindness is more prevalent in men and those assigned male at birth, I think it's because of like specific like coding. Like it may be like either it's like something. I think maybe it's like an X-linked thing, and if you have an XY chromosome set, then you're more likely to have the color blindness because you don't have an extra X chromosome to like override that color blindness trait. It's something like that. Yeah, I figured things would become more common, but like color blindness is one of those interesting things. But I would like to see if like the statistics have changed. But I remember learning something interesting about color blindness is that some people have a hard time seeing like traffic lights if they're colorblind. If like they're a certain type of colorblind, they might have a hard time seeing traffic lights. I think I remember seeing someone say something like that, like they can drive but they're colorblind, so that they have to like pay attention to what other people are doing in order to understand what color the light is. But like that's so dangerous. That might have been made up. I don't know. That was one thing I read several years ago. But I know it can perceive it can affect numerous things. And like some people don't find out until they're like an adult, basically. They're like, wait, holy shit, I'm colorblind? I didn't know this. It's like, wow, surprise. You can't see certain colors. And you had no idea. Gosh, can you imagine? Can you imagine going through that? and just like living your life normally, and then one day, like you're having like a disagreement with somebody you know, and like, by the end of the conversation, they're like, "Dude, I think you might be colorblind," and you're just sitting there like, "What? There are colors I can't see? Has my life been a lie?" That they have a hard time seeing it. It's what the color is that they have trouble with. They will see bright light. Yeah, I figured that was probably it. So the post I read was probably like a partial fib, or just like maybe I misinterpreted it. I don't know. I've read that it was like a post on Tumblr or something a million years ago. But like, I was just thinking about it, like, you might have to like memorize like which light is which based on position, because most places have them in a specific order. Like, I think the red light is usually the leftmost, and then the green light is the rightmost, or it's the other way around, but the orange light is always in the center. But then you've got the more complicated ones with like the arrows, but you can usually tell the difference between those. It's interesting. I remember being in high school and somebody in my physical science class found out they were colorblind because we were doing colorblind tests. And he was like, "Oh my god, I think I'm colorblind." It was crazy. It depends on like which lights, because there are some that are vertical, but most of them are horizontal here. I don't know, here in Texas we like things big. So I guess certain things are just wide for some reason. But yeah, sometimes like in cities, sometimes the lights are vertical. And then like in like if it's a multi-lane road, chances are the lights will be horizontal instead of vertical. But at like whenever you're in like a turn lane, it has its own little stop light thing, then like usually the lights will be vertical. So it just depends on like the positioning and like the spacing and all that stuff. And sometimes whenever you're coming up on a light that's around a corner, you'll see like a preparatory light that's vertical. Well, that's interesting. I think I remember there are probably certain places in the US that have only stacked lights. Like I think when I was in California visiting my sister one time, I think a lot of the lights were stacked. But yeah, a lot of the lights here are in a horizontal fashion instead of vertical. It's interesting learning those little differences. Texas just loves being wide. Yeah. I mean, the whole state is like, I think 2,000 miles wide. I'd probably measure from one end to the other on Google Maps or something. Check. It might not actually be. Yeah, it's not 2,000 miles. No, that's way larger than what it actually is. Let me drop a pin here and then drop a pin here. No. I want to measure. Let me measure it. Yeah, I was lying about the 2,000 miles. No, that's closer to like... Yeah, it's like 700 miles wide. So that's still big, but like not as big as I said. The whole entire country is about 2,000 miles wide. Yeah, I don't know why I said Texas was 2,000 miles wide. That's more like Alaska. Alaska is huge. Yeah, like sometimes I think about how some people think Texas is the largest state in the United States, but then like Alaska is just looming in the distance, being like 4 times bigger than Texas, I think. It's like 3 to 4 times bigger than Texas, so it's really fucking big. It's just over there. It's just sitting there menacingly. So yeah, Texas is famous for being big, but it is not the biggest state in the United States. That title goes to Alaska by a long shot. Alaska's fucking massive! But it doesn't have as big of a population. Not as many people live there. And I think there's currently like an issue going on with the US and Russia because the United States bought Alaska from Russia for like a really cheap price. So Russia's like, you swindled us, and so that's an issue going on right now, I think. But I don't know. I haven't heard very much reception on that whole deal because of all the other things going on right now. But yeah, I think that's one of those things that's just kind of quietly going on in the back with Russia being all like, how dare you? You bought Alaska for too cheap. We need more money. How dare you? I don't know, something like that, I bet. It's crazy. You will have to beg for the end until the end of time. Because I need money to eat and take care of my cats. You know, this job. I understand you're joking, but like, yeah, I just wanted to say that just in case anybody like genuinely, sincerely is like, can you make something for free for me? Because like, you know, there are people out there that genuinely feel that way. Like, can't you just make it for free, please? Pointing fingers emoji. Like, no. You cannot get it for free. Take your ooze elsewhere. You ain't getting free art out of me. But like, it just happens. It happens a lot. I've seen it quite a bit where like people will like show up in an artist's DMs like, I want to commission you, and then they're like, alright, what do you want? And then they're like, I want this and this and this, and then the artist will be like, alright, let me calculate my fees for that. And then the person that wants to commission them will be like, what the fuck? I ain't paying for all that shit. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean you won't pay for somebody's work? You want free labor? You swindler! You ain't getting shit! If you're gonna, not with that attitude, you ain't getting any. Actually, hold on. I colored those incorrectly. There we go. You swindler! You think you can just get free labor like that? No, no, no. But like, you'll sometimes see it on like other artists' pages where they'll share like their experience with like people not understanding how commissions work, and that you have to pay for people to make art for you. And it's like, how do people not understand this? Like, it's work. And then like the person will go on like a tirade like, how dare you? I'm gonna pay you an exposure. How could you not appreciate such an honor? How dare you? I could totally make this just as easily. Fuck you, I'm out. And it's like, huh? A very important statement around the I could make that belief and sentiment, a very important statement, you could. You totally could just make it. A very important statement regarding that whole sentiment of people being like, I could make that. You totally could. That is very true. But it's not the question of can you make it, but rather will you make it? Will you do it? Will you make the art that you say you can do? Will you commit to that kind of responsibility? Will you commit to that task? Will you put in the work that other artists have put in? Or are you just saying that to devalue the true value of people's work? Because you don't see art as work, but rather just something to be consumed. I'm sorry to get all like big words on you, but like that's just something that like that's something very important to keep in mind is whenever if you ever see somebody in like some artist's post comments, if they're like, I could make that plain and easy, you're overpricing your shit. If you see that, just remember, yeah. You could make it. But will you? Will you commit to what you say you can do? Because, like, it's true that anybody can make art. That's, like, the biggest thing about, like, being anti-AI art is that anyone can make art. In fact, there are several famous quadriplegic artists out there. And when you're a quadriplegic, there's, like, a lot you technically can't do because you just don't have the ability to do it. But guess what? You can still make art. Crazy. Cool. Awesome stuff. Cause like a lot of people what if a person asks for something you're already making for free? Ooh, good question. I don't know. I kind of want to go on a mini tirade about my feelings about AI art, but just only a little bit. Like, just one quick little quip. I recently saw a post of somebody saying that being anti-AI art is ableist. That is just objectively not true. Because you are assuming that it is physically impossible for disabled people to make art without the assistance of AI. But that is just simply incorrect. Assuming that the only type of art you can make is with pencil and paper, or like with digital programs, assuming that like art is extremely limited, that's just factually incorrect. Supporting AI art as it is right now is just not morally sound because the major AI art builds are built off of unethically sourced art. Yeah, art is suffering, but you know what? The finished product is worth it. It's worth it. It's satisfying seeing the fruits of your labor. But that's how it is for a lot of things. Like, if you had a garden and, like, you had, like, a bunch of tomato plants and it's, like, the first time you've ever gardened, the moment you see a successful tomato fruit pop up, you're gonna be like losing your shit, like, oh my god, I made that, I grew that, I nursed that thing to full fruiting glory. It's like this amazing, satisfying thing. And I sincerely doubt that AI art fulfills that same capacity. And I'm just thinking about that one post of someone being like, telling disabled artists to just pick up a pencil is ableist because they can only use AI art to make the same shit that you make. That is not true. That's not true at all. There are so many disabled artists out there. Literally, there is a famous painter who does portraits who literally deals with facial blindness and he's a quadriplegic. So like, no, fuck you. Your argument is not solid at all. AI art is just bad because it's unethical. There's no proper excuse for the usage of it. All it's doing is destroying jobs, and it is making artists paranoid about what their work may be used in. Like I've seen like some people and actually that's a very important point, and like the way you're wording it is very much in a funny haha kind of way, but that is actually a big part of the beauty of art, is the amount of work that's put into it. Like you're currently watching me do this bag ref sheet, and you may have seen some of this as well. Like this takes a lot of work. And that's what makes art so great, is the fact that so much work is put into it with human input and human hands. Not always human hands, sometimes human feet or human mouths or human bodies. I am a bug. But yeah, a big part of what makes art so beautiful is the amount of work that's put into it. That's why there's so much value in like a child's piece of art, is that like they put the time and effort into making something for someone. They made it to show somebody, they made it for somebody, or they made it for themselves. Just like it's wonderful seeing what's made with human hands. What can be made, what has been made, all that good stuff. It's wonderful. And it's also a very integral part of human history. Art is so important to just human culture and history. And trying to take that away is just no. AI art is nasty because it isn't art. There's no real human input. It's made by machine. That is whenever the question of what is art really shows up. Because the definition of art is something created by human hands. Something created by people. Art is something created by a person. And AI art isn't created by a person. It's ripping. It's like ripping and stealing actual human artwork and then making like a weird messed up amalgamation of it through computer programming. But like, no. It's not even art by definition. Because it wasn't made by a person. That finished product was made by a computer. Oh, I don't know why, but you just reminded me of how, like, an over-dependency on tablets and computers has actually led to a lot of, some cases of children just not developing proper motor skills for their age group. Which is crazy. Because, like, I understand, like, using technology a little bit to assist, because like what my sister does, she has 2 kids, and I love them very much. They're very sweet and very smart, and they love going outside. The interesting thing about children nowadays, about iPad kids, is that actually children still love to go outside. They would prefer to go outside and physically play than mess with a tablet. But there are a lot of times where certain parents just kind of just toss the tablet at their kid and they're like, just play with that, whatever, leave me alone. And that's more of an issue with the parent. That's true. And it's that same issue of like an over-reliance of on technology to do things for you instead of using it and like doing things with it. It should do things with you, not for you. That's a big part of technology. And my whole VTuber is themed around technology and like being a piece of software. Like, my VTuber doesn't have a physical form. I guess the closest thing you would get is like maybe a hard drive or something. Maybe like a computer. But no, my VTuber, lore-wise, is just built out of code. It's just a glitch. It's manifested out of a glitch, a bug, in a specific program. I'm actually working on developing that lore a little further, and I want to reveal all of that on the anniversary. And I know that's like 2.5 months away, but like, I'm working on it, and I want it to be like a whole big thing. So like my passion regarding these things, my mind formed from neurons firing, just pew pew pew! Surprise! I exist now. I've been working on really like my VTuber has always been like a manifestation of like a digital form of my real life self, but like I've wanted to push that, so the lore may change a little bit. Whoops! Ah! Where did I go? I've just been thinking about like what else to do, and I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be like a little party. Yeah, just remember, art is literally the most accessible profession on the planet. Anyone, literally anyone. I do actually have a really defined jawline. I do actually. That's why my VTuber has such like a strong jaw, and I got like them sweet cheekbones. You can see it in my PNG tuber. I got some strong facial features in real life. I'm just built different. But yeah, if you ever like come across somebody who's like, ugh, I can only make art with AI. You fucking liar. Like, here, I'll give you a fantastic counter argument. Felix PewDiePie, he has been going through a journey of learning how to draw. It has only taken him 100 days to get to a really exceptional point for a beginner artist. Like, he has been just working his ass off building that skill just because he wants to. And he's good at it too. Honestly, no, not even talent. Like, that just, he put in a lot of work. He studied things. He put in the work, and his effort is paying off. Yeah, it's not even talent. Cause like, I'll tell you one really cool thing about something I've learned in art is that there's a whole like subgroup of artists that are called outsider artists. And that term originates from just like any sort of artist that doesn't use like traditional techniques. And we did like a whole section in my art history class on outsider art and outsider artists. Yeah, outsider art is just it's a very big term for any self-taught individuals. He became a dad and he got superpowers. He's become such a wonderful person since he became a dad. Also, Bjorn's birthday is 7 days before mine. He was born a week before my birthday, which was insane, and so I started calling him Bjorn the 7-Eleven baby. Because he was born on July 11th. Yeah, let me look up some... An important aspect of outsider art is that a lot of outsider artists are neurodivergent. They're usually just regular old people that just like... that just secretly make art. Like there are several... like there's the fuck were they called? The fuck were they called? There was like this super famous guy who made like this big series. It was this huge visual, like this huge novel that this man made. It's like thousands of pages, and it was discovered after his death. Jojo. Let me see. I might be able to find the PowerPoint that we had on it. The fuck was his name? Outsider and visionary art. It should be in this one. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Aha! Why is the background white on these? I can't see shit. No! I can't see any of this. What the fuck is his name? Hold on. There he is. There's one of his works. Let me see. Let me open this in the PowerPoint app. Why is the background white? All of the text is invisible! Ah! I mean, can I... like... hold on. Let me open it in this browser. See if that helps. No, it doesn't. And it's not that. It's that it's white text on a white background, so it's literally invisible. Help. You know what? Fuck it. I'm opening it up on desktop. I was opening it up on my phone, but I think I'll open it up on here. If I open it up on here, I should be able to see it properly. I don't know why the background changed from black to white. That was weird. I just really want to share this. Let me see. Show it to me. What is his name? I'm so bad with names. It's not dark mode, it's a freaking PowerPoint. Oh, Darger. Yeah, Henry Darger. You should look that guy up. Here, let me type it out in chat. Henry Darger. His thing is in the realms of the unreal. And the title is actually much longer than that. No, it's not that. It has nothing to do with dark mode or light mode. It's a PowerPoint. The actual file, for some reason, when I opened it up on my phone, the background was white. It's strange. But anyway, look that guy up. Henry Darger. That's an outsider artist, and he's actually extremely well known. But his art didn't receive any recognition until after his death. It's wild! It's wild stuff! It's crazy! Alright, back to drawing. Back to the good stuff. Oh yeah, I just remembered, on my, my original ref sheet, there's something mentioned that the clothing cannot be removed. And, that is partially, because of bug. Cause like, you can see, like, this form is like just being chill, more like visually friendly looking, and then like bug form is like true form or like angry form. Yes, literally built into the exoskeleton. I don't know, I like having fun with designs like that. Nice, enjoyable stuff. So I only look like a people because I don't want to be creepy to the people. But that can change at any point. Oh yeah, I forgot I was doing this as well. Hold on. Forgot about that. Bug. Bug. I think what I'll do... And then with this, we can do this. I hate that I'm so bad with names, especially of artists, because like I remember having a conversation with my drawing professor and I literally forgot Andy Warhol's name. I'm not even joking. I literally forgot one of the most well-known artists' names ever. Like, what the fuck happened? I was freaking out. Like, why couldn't I remember his name? It was weird. Nah. No spikies. I don't know. Maybe. But not now. I'll consider that for brainstorming purposes. The leg's easy food. Maybe. Oh! Whoopsie. Didn't mean to do that again. I need to color in those empty spots, but for now, this is just what it is. Wait, no, hold up. It would be that color. I can't be eaten, I'm a piece of software! I just wanted the bug theme because, like, computer bug, real life bug, it's all just a freaking pun. You know, considering recent VTuber drama, I think it's nice that the whole taboo surrounding like discussing previous VTuber roles is being very quickly dealt with, because I'm gonna be I do have plans to upgrade some things. But like, I still want these refs to be available. Like, I literally on my Discord server, I still have like, I have every piece of work I've made of my VTuber available. And they're all on there, every single one. Including my cringe-ass first draft of SAMIEL, my VTuber. It's not very pleasant for me to look at personally, but it's still available there. As like a way of keeping record. I like keeping records of things. It's just important to me and all that good stuff. Oh, this silly song. I can't scream super loud right now. I don't want to wake anybody up. You ever think about how most bugs don't really make like active sounds, but then you've got like the occasional bug that can. Like apparently some moths can squeak, which is crazy. You know, it's so amazing how, like, the perception of neurodivergence has changed so much on the internet lately. That's so nice. Because I still remember when, like, the awful, awful autism screech meme was a thing. I remember, like, when the usage of the R word was still extremely common on the internet. And I remembered, like, any sort of, like, enthusiasm for something was immediately hit with some real mean shit. Like, fuck you, you can't enjoy anything. It's like, wow, I'm so glad things have changed. It's so nice. And like, some people complain about the changes, but like, everything has its own pros and cons. Some people may actually be faking, but like, that might just be part of them figuring out themselves. But like, there are many people who are figuring out like genuine things about themselves now, because this information is becoming so much more accessible, and it's so wonderful. Because knowledge is power. It's so nice. Makes me happy. Well, that's true. But like, usually it's like the sound of wings. I just mean sounds as in like vocal cord stuff. Because like, a lot of animals don't have vocal cords. This is really random, but I just remembered this. Did you know turkeys don't have salivary glands? I randomly remembered that, and I have no idea why. It's such a dumb thing to remember, but like... yeah, bugs breathe through their skin. But it's just interesting how like some creatures just don't like... they only make like certain sounds through like different methods. Like they... like some... and there are some bugs that just don't even intentionally make sounds. Also, another random thing, I want to check something. Are snakes deaf? Snakes are deaf, kind of. They lack eardrums, but they possess inner ears. So they can pick up vibrations and low frequency airborne sounds. So they're hard of hearing. I just randomly remember that because, like, sound is such an important thing to a lot of creatures, but not all creatures. Not all of them. I just randomly remembered that. Yeah, it's so nice. Like, it's no longer, like, seen as, like, the death plague, except for by really ignorant people. But another wonderful thing about this whole thing is that it's showing more exposure to harmful things like electroshock therapy, how cognitive behavioral therapy is sometimes used in a harmful manner. Autism speaks, like, all that good, all that, like, finally, like, exposing all of that stuff and just how bad it is. But also, it's important to know that psychology and psychiatry are still very new areas of science. So we're seeing, like, the boon of, like, actual proper, accurate stuff, and it's so nice. I think we're in, like, the hot spot of, information regarding neurodivergence and, just general, like, brain stuff. It's so nice. The golden age! Yes! I remember, like, this is like really new. This is like probably the beginning of like the golden age of like psychology and psychiatry, because like I remember back in high school I took one psychology class and I failed it because it fucking sucked. And the whole reason behind my failure was because like it was just very poorly structured class. I don't like lecture classes. I do not like them at all. I cannot focus in them. But also a big part of like psychology courses like that is that like you would study like these really old, like the original founders, and it would be like, he's discovered so many things, isn't he great? It's like there was a sense of like idolization involved with it, and that's being smushed, and it's great. I love seeing it just being removed, because like other sections of science don't really do that, and some teachers still do that. I know that that's still a thing sometimes, but like it's not nearly as bad as it used to be, because things are changing and it's nice, and this information becoming more easy to discover is so wonderful. That's like a huge part of why that's changing. That's right, I forgot. I made the teeth dark too. Thought it was fun that way. Yeah, I think it's like a very like, I think this is debatably like the start of some real good shit. Nice. Yeah, I made the inside of the mouth that color. Look at that face! Bug face. A big part of like, the whole like saying you might be one thing, like partially or like implying self-diagnosis, is just the process of finding community. Because for some people, like when I was younger, for example, like there was the whole aspect of like feeling so out of place, feeling like there's something wrong with you, that there's just something deeply wrong with you, because like you just, there's something just not right, and that it's just the lack of belonging. It's a huge aspect of discovering these resources, and it's just a big aspect of self-discovery and just finding a sense of belonging. That's an extremely important part of just being a person and being a part of the whole and part of the society that you live in. Finding answers to questions that you don't even, like, you might not even know you have is extremely important. Like me figuring out that I'm hypermobile. That was huge. That was such a huge revelation for me. Because it answered so many questions that I had about my chronic pain, my physical issues, even like little things like why my joints creaked when I was 9, why my kneecap slipped out of place when I was 9, just casually, why my right jaw socket dislocates regularly. Like those are all very important things. And it's nice to have answers to questions that sometimes you don't even know you have. Because it's just a big part of finding identity, a sense of belonging, and just finding a true sense of comfort and happiness. And I feel like some people, when they complain, they just don't really understand that yet. Knowledge is power. Education is comfort. Learning brings togetherness. And it's all extremely important. I think I might do the outer shell like this. Didn't get diagnosed with autism until 17. It was one of the stupid ones bashing autism like a plague. It made it seem like cancer until I got diagnosed with it. It's hard to accept it and denied it at first. Oh, well, look at you and your development. You've learned so much since then. That's the beauty of the passage of time. You can learn and change, and it's so nice. I'm not diagnosed, but the last time I had a therapist, he said that there was a very good chance that I was. And I have taken several of those tests, and I've done years and years of research. And it's just, he was afraid to diagnose me because of general human rights issues that a lot of neurodivergent people still have to deal with. So he was just like, you probably do have it, but like, I don't want to diagnose you for your own safety. And like, I was partially thankful, but partially not. I was partially thankful because he was looking out for my well-being. He had good intentions and all that, but I was partially a little sad because like, it's just like that sense of agency and like just having that and being like, yeah, look at this credentials I have. But I don't need the credentials. I know what I am, and I know that there's nothing wrong with me. Well, thank you. Ah shit, I did it again. I keep like I keep bringing my pen down here and then I end up doing that on accident. Oopsie. Alright, let's see. I could probably do like, no, not like that. Like this. Make it like that. The wings are transparent. I'm not gonna make a whole bunch of effort to make the wing design super like accurate in the folded one. Just like a basic simple, like this is what it looks like. It's partially transparent. But yeah, just discovering those things and finding comfort and belonging and understanding like there's nothing wrong with stimming. My sensory issues are not my fault. I don't need to I don't need to get over anything. Like, this is just how I am. And also, makes it easier to communicate my issues. I could be like, hey, could you please elaborate on that thing? Or be like, hey, let me go grab my headphones real quick. This sounds just a little too much. I've actually been learning how to unmask for quite some time. And a big part of that is like removing like automated responses to things. Like if you've ever like been masking just subconsciously in a situation and you just like default to being like a yes man, it's like you don't actually want to say yes to certain things, but like it kind of happens. Like yeah, I've been unlearning that for a very long time, and sometimes I still get surprised. That's something I recently figured out was I haven't been to the doctor. I haven't been to like a proper doctor in like a couple years because of insurance and because of other things. But I realized like probably a year ago, maybe like half a year ago, not that long ago, I realized like holy shit, I mask when I go to the doctors because I'm just like, okay, yes, okay, I understand, yes. I understand. Okay, see you next appointment. And then when I get out, I'm like, what the fuck was that? I didn't even... You know? It's crazy. It's amazing whenever you learn these things, and it's like, oh shit. That's not healthy. And then you learn how to counteract it, and it's super nice when that happens. Yeah, a big part of the reason why diagnosis is still hard, especially for minorities, is because, like, that whole bias in the system is still being unlearned. And really, a lot of medical bias is still a big issue, but people are becoming more aware of it now, and that is a good start. Becoming aware of these problems is the first step. Awareness is the first step. Once you know about it, then like you can start taking steps to do something about it. But like you'll still run into like ignorant old farts every once in a while. Man, I remember when my sister got diagnosed with ADHD. And I was like, holy shit, I knew it! I knew we had ADHD! And I said we because, like, we share a lot in common. The only thing we don't share is that my sister has bipolar disorder and I do not. I do not experience manic episodes or anything like that. But, the whole ADHD thing, that is definitely something we have in common. So when she got diagnosed, I was like, oh, well, that's virtually, like, that's pretty much a confirmation that my suspicion that, like, me suspecting I'm also ADHD is, like, it was a pretty good theory. I was pretty spot on with all my knowledge and education. It was really interesting. But it also helped explain a lot. Everyone else making me into a smash of people. Yeah. Yeah! That's a big part of masking, is just like not having a sense of identity and just like taking little bits of what you absorb. Also, you want to know a little cool fact? There's this really interesting thing called autism accent. and I've heard other people talk about it before. It's this really interesting phenomenon, because like the way our brains process things is just inherently different, but like it's interesting how like your accent can still change very easily. It's very like, it's much more malleable if you're autistic. And like that's probably part of the reason why people can't really pinpoint where I'm from, because my accent tends to change a lot and it tends to be a mishmash. Not to mention, if like I'm around other people with a specific accent, I can just subconsciously absorb certain parts of it. It just kind of happens, and it's really interesting. But it's also part of the reason why a lot of autistic people are really good at like voice acting. They're good at mimicking accents, all that cool shit. And like singing is also a big thing too. But yeah, the whole robot comparison is also interesting because like there's a reason why there's a lot of autistic people that latch onto robot characters, because like that sense of othering is personified through robots, and it's just a source of comfort. And like it's like I understand when some people are like, that's not okay for like a robot character to be autistic coded. I understand that criticism. I think most people understand that criticism. But it's still nice having like a source of comfort like that. Finding a sense of relation to a character regardless of their status of humanity. I really noticed the accent stuff, but I didn't find out I'm amazingly good at mimicking voices. Yes! I've called that little thing phonetic mimicry. And that's how, I've recently been getting into singing a little bit. Still a little too shy to sing publicly, but, a big part of it is just copying what I hear. Copying, like, the way it sounds and the way the sounds feel. Just copying those general inflections. It's that... I don't want to sing, no! I'm actually extremely shy when it comes to singing. I don't know why, but singing feels extremely intimate sometimes. So like, eh. But I'm getting better. Maybe one day. I hope so. I hope one day I'll be able to really like dedicate to it. Maybe on my anniversary. Who knows? Maybe I'll do like a little karaoke thing. I don't know. I have a lot of ideas, and I've got a lot of work to do. I know you're trying to convince me to sing, but no, I don't want to sing right now. And besides, I'm not like properly trained in singing, so I will have like, you know, just like novice types of whatevers, but like that's just how it goes. We'll get there one day. I would like to, at some point, one day, do some covers of some songs. I think it would be nice. Yeah, I don't have any, like, proper training in singing. Oh, I forgot to do the thing that I said I was gonna do with the wing. You know, I will say, with me preparing for my anniversary, making some new accounts on like Twitter and making a new side account on Instagram, I've been contacted by a lot of people being like, I would like for you to commission me, and like it's really jarring. Oh, was I? Interesting. But with the whole like making these new accounts, like I've been given some serious whiplash because like a lot of people have already started following me. And by the way, when I say a lot, I don't mean like hundreds. I mean like maybe a couple dozen or so. Because that's a lot for me, especially in like 1 to 2 days. Like that is just nuts from my perspective. But like it's crazy, and like I've already had multiple people contact me and like, hey, I'm a rigging artist for VTubers. Would you like to commission me? And it's extremely jarring when people do that because I have never once met somebody that like directly contacts somebody else so they could potentially commission them. And somebody in the Discord server said that there's a good chance it's probably a scam, and there is a good chance, but I still try to be polite. And besides, I don't have any plans on commissioning anybody for any of my stream stuff anyway, because I'm trying to build my own skills with this kind of stuff. So like, thanks, but no thanks. Have a good day. Bye. All that good stuff. I've already had multiple people contact me about that, and like, if it keeps continuing like this, I might just hit a point where I ignore some of the messages. Really? That has been going on. Interesting. Well, it's not gonna work on me because I don't plan on commissioning anybody anyway. I am the artist. I am the captain now. With the right shade. Oh wait, didn't I do this? Where did it go? Where did you go? Where did my shading go? It's really strange that that's a recent thing. Interesting. So far, the ones that have contacted me haven't given off like the bot vibe. So, I don't know if I have been contacted by any bots yet, but like, I don't know. I don't plan on exchanging anything anyway, so it's not gonna work on me. Besides, I have been partially scammed in the past, which I'm a little embarrassed about, but some scammers are really freaking good at what they do. So like, it's just a general like, that's one of those things where like I've turned it into like a teaching opportunity, where I'm like, hey, sometimes scammers are smart, and there's a lot of shame around falling for scams, but anybody can get scammed because some of them are really good at what they do. Real life bots and recruited persons with the same goal to scam money out of you. Yeah, a lot of them have looked kind of similar, but like, maybe some real life people will see my stuff on the tweeter. The no longer tweeting tweeter. Only one way to find out. Besides, a lot of other VTubers are active on there, so like it's still a fairly active platform. It just kind of sucks sometimes. But I'm only planning on using it for like posting and like just like sharing things in a timely manner. So like I don't have any actual plans on like, excuse me, using it regularly. So I'm just gonna be SOL. Shit out of luck. They can try, but they will fail. You can't catch me. Speaking of clips, I need to start clipping my streams more. make some stuff, like have a good like what's it called? Have like a good queue of things. I need to establish my social media presence. I have to make the number bigger. I want more people to see the things I make. I want more people to enjoy my work. I must calculate to the highest efficiency. Pushes my glasses up. Let's see. Bug. I think that's pretty much done. Let's see. I've got some notes on here, but I don't know if I'll put like notes on the other one. I don't know if I'll put notes on this one. I might just keep this as like an extra. Actually, you know what? I could totally put some notes down. Let's see, what color is this? I knew it was greenish. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Oops. What's the text size in this? What is this text size? Hold on, where is this? What is your size? Oh, 1.3. That's what it is. Oh, let me undo this and then bring this down to 1.3. There we go. Perfect. Hold on. I need to do some modifying to the... There you are. I need to fix the upper eye area, because, like, there are no eyelids. So, like, there are, like, little creases. You know, I think one thing that I hope to invest in that will help increase the amount of content I can make is I hope I can get a capture card soon. I would really like one of those. Because I'd like to be able to play some of the console games I have. Like, especially like my Nintendo games. I want to be able to play all those for stream. Besides, if I had a capture card, my number of games would go up significantly. Because right now, all I have is Steam. And like, maybe some Game Jolt and itch.io stuff if I actually decide to look through that for once. I think it'd be nice. And besides, if I get a capture card, I'll be able to play Metroid games. And one little idea that's just been like sitting in the back of my head for a long time is like having a Metroid month in August, because the first Metroid game came out in August. Yes, big tism moment. I actually got into Metroid when I was 16. So honestly, this isn't even really rooted in nostalgia. I just really like Metroid. I like sci-fi and I like weird alien bugs. I think they're cool. mandibles removable. That's one big thing. This really accentuates that a lot. Let's see. I think the secondary arms might be optional as well. I feel like people would forget about those anyway, so I can acknowledge them through this. No, they're not optional. I'd love to be able to play the Prime series on stream, because I have the Prime trilogy. I have a copy of the collector's edition for the Wii. And I'd love to be able to play that on stream, but I need to do some research on some capture cards, and not to mention, capture cards are expensive! But I think if I was able to play it on stream, I think that would be super nice. I forgot a word. I was so busy with my thoughts. Alright, let's see. Bug. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It feels a bit more empty than the original ref sheet, but there aren't as many things to note, I think. Eyes always open. I might change the eyes a little bit. Actually, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I have an idea. I have an idea! Oh, and I forgot to, like, mark out the colors. That is just barely different, so hold on. I might need to up that a little bit more. Yeah, I like to just absently, like, pick up on the catchy bits of some songs. Alright, that's nice. Eyes always open. Alright, now. Now you can tell the difference between the two. If I have them all marked out like that, you can see the difference. There's some shading I forgot about. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, and I should make a note that the colors are changeable as well, just like the main form. An RGB setting. Can you imagine just a revolving RGB setting? It'd be silly. Are they the same colors? I don't think they are. No, they're not. I see now. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. And come here, you. That color. And then this one. Here. Much simpler color palette. But, let's see. And there's this. You make a note that this is transparent. No, it's just, I don't think I'm downplaying myself. I'm just a little shy because, like, for some reason singing just feels very intimate, so it just feels very personal. But I don't feel that way as much as I used to. And I do have a really exceptional range for singing. Let's see. What else was it I need to make a note of? how colors changeable. Red bug. red bug. There you go. Look at that! Ref sheet. Yeah, I know that I'm pretty good at singing for someone who doesn't have any professional training. But, I don't know how I would do with, like, an original song. Because all I do is copy what I hear. But I would like to get into voice acting, and that's another thing that's very similar in that same way. That, like, sense of control. Oh, hi! Yes, I finished the bug, and now I'm just chatting. The bug is done. Bug. And we're talking about singing. I have genuinely been thinking about singing. Yeah, it's done! The Sammy bug is done! I just finished. I'm just good like that. It's so much easier to have commentary for a stream whenever there's actually people in chat. I'm finally starting to get out of the echo chamber phase of streaming. It doesn't happen nearly as often as it used to. I remember whenever I pretty much only had streams that had, like, no chatting. But now, most of the time, I have at least one person who's like, hello, at some point. It's nice. But, yeah, we've talked about, like, singing. And that made me think about voice acting, because that's something I want to do. Well, I enjoy lurking. I won't be streaming for much longer. I just want to finish up this one little thing that I was talking about. But, like, through, like, practicing quote-unquote voice acting through, like, playing games and just practicing in my free time, it's been interesting noting how sometimes voice acting feels a little similar to singing, because you have to, like, pace out your breathing, you have to, like, control, like, your inflection and, like, the pitch and volume and stuff like that, and it's really interesting. Well, that's very sweet of you. But yeah, it's just those are some things that I would like to pursue a little bit, but it might be a little bit of time before that really fully happens. I guess I'd just like to work on my streaming stuff first. Just take it like baby steps. And besides, I just recently made peace with my voice. Because, like, I had some real insecurities surrounding it for a long time because of bullying. But, I think it was my playthrough of In Stars in Time that, just completely destroyed the insecurity. It was such a good game to play. And there were so many lines. It was such a wonderful time. I haven't been picked on about my voice in a very long time, actually, which is really nice. Like, I haven't met a single person that has made fun of my voice in quite some time. I think the worst is probably whenever somebody just starts babying me because I'm quote-unquote just so cute. And that's happened. That's something that happened. That was probably the last time something like that happened. Like, don't treat people like children just because you think they're adorable or cute. Like, come on, that's a whole ass person you're talking to. And recently, it's just with streaming, I've developed a lot more confidence around my voice. It's nice. I'm exporting the sheet to PNG. There we go. But yeah, I remember like they were so friendly at first, and then it got to be a bit much, and then like I realized like, hey, this person doesn't respect me. They're nice, but they're not like friendly nice. They're like babying me nice, and that's not a good type of nice. I do not like to be infantilized. I have some very strong feelings about that whole deal. But, yeah, that person is not my friend anymore, obviously. I was probably like, I think I was 20 when that happened. So yeah, I was a whole ass 20-year-old adult, and somebody else on campus, one of my classmates, just, jeez, like I would talk about like a serious topic, and then at the end of it, they'd just be like, I'm so sorry, but you're just so cute. It's like, I'm not a fucking plushie. What are you talking about? Did you even listen to what I just said? Like, hello? Yoo-hoo! Person here. I desire respect, please? Like, it's crazy. But like, that just happens sometimes. You'll just sometimes... No! Don't turn me into a market plushie! Oh man, can you imagine one day if I had like a plushie? I don't have any merch because obviously I'm a little too small to invest in something like that. But like one day it will happen. One day it will happen. Either with my stream stuff or with my story stuff. Who's to say? Who knows? It'll be cool though. I'd like to have a copy of any piece of merchandise I ever make. Even like discontinued or like rejects or something like that. I think it'd be nice to have at least one for myself, because like I just like keeping record of things. Ooh, yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. I forgot that was a thing. Some people were weird like that. I don't know. I've been thinking about making some additional things related to streaming just to like, just as like a bit of flavor stuff, especially once I unlock more abilities with like whenever I become an affiliate or something. Because that'll happen eventually. Over time, it'll happen. It'll be nice. I've been thinking about the possibilities of what to make. So like the plushie may not even be of my VTuber. Maybe of something else. I don't know. There's always all sorts of possibilities. And it's cool. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff that I'd like to do related to my streaming stuff. But I also hope, this is like a bit of an ideal like dream that I have. I would like to be able to use my stream stuff to support my non-stream stuff as well, like my stories and other things I might make. I think it would be nice. Excuse me, I've been talking so much today. I'm thinking my voice is going. It's a bit angry. But also, another big thing is that I would love for my stream stuff to be able to support me to extend my education further. Because I'll be getting my bachelor's by the end of the year. But like, I want more. I want more knowledge. I wish for more knowledge. There's only so much you can do with a bachelor's. And I'd like to... I'll probably get multiple bachelors if things go pretty well. But I would like to get a master's in art as well eventually. I don't know about a doctorate, but I think that would be cool too. But I think for a doctorate, you have to do like a giant ass thesis or something. And that's a little intimidating. But people would have to call me a doctor if I got a doctorate, so like that's such like a, this sounds pretty cool. Like would you make a giant thesis paper just to be called doctor? Well, maybe, I don't know. I think it'd be fun. But I've had to write some pretty big papers already, so I don't think it would be too much of a big deal. But that would be like way in the future. I was like, getting my bachelor's already took 4 years. But getting a master's would take like an additional 2 to 3 years. And I don't know about a doctorate. Yeah. I do like Undertale and Deltarune music. It's good music. But I wonder how, I think it just depends on what you're going for. Then like the doctorate might not take as long for certain things. I don't know, because that by that point it's like you're so specialized in stuff that it's like things are just so different between each thing. And where would I even go to be able to get that? I don't even know if I can get a master's in my degree at my university. So that's something I've been worried about. But I've been thinking about potentially getting a second bachelor's. Maybe, I don't know. But I should probably take a break after I get my first bachelor's though. I don't need to be wearing myself out like that. I'd like to take a break. And just build up some funds and take care of the student loans I already have. I'd like to be able to support myself. Be able to do a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm working towards those dreams. I am working my ass off for that. And I will keep working my ass off because this is something I really love doing. Honestly, ever since I started streaming, things have been wonderful for me. I'm not even, like, a big person yet. I just get maybe 1 or 2 people. And that's fine. It's wonderful. I'm partially self-taught. And partially professionally taught. Like, I started drawing when I was 10. So a lot of what I've done with character creation and stuff like that is self-taught, but I'm getting a degree in like contemporary style art. So the art I make in class and stuff is totally different from what you see on stream. So it's like 2 different types of skill sets for me personally. But I do like character creation. That is something that I've cultivated all on my own with just like informal learning through like seeing other people, seeing like other artists and like anatomy tips and all that stuff. But I will say that life drawing was very, very, very helpful in cultivating, excuse me, the quality of my current work. Because my original VTuber model, I made that before I took life drawing, and then the little middle arms, I think it's more of just for extra grabby, like if I need to hold more stuff. Not really for balance, just there for fun. Besides, a lot of bugs have 6 appendages, so I just wanted to incorporate that instead of just having 4. You have like the 6 appendages and then the mandibles. But yeah, I wish there were more life drawing classes at my university. There's only one. Wing counterweight. Very good point. I don't know, the wings would probably be pretty light. Excuse me. Hi! You didn't sleep long. You just finished drawing. I'm just chatting right now. What's up?
Nothing. Let me see what we got. I like the wings.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really proud of those.
Alright, have one.
Thank you. Bye. I have my tea. I'm hydrated. That was my dad. He just came to check on my stuff. It was my dad. My papa. He has left. He's going downstairs now. Ah, shit. What was I talking about? I got distracted. No. Oh no, you don't have your dad? Oh. That sucks. My dad is retired. He just kind of... he just kind of sits around and watches TV, play games, look at TikToks. He's just chilling. I have tried to encourage him to do some more stuff. Especially with my mom. And like sometimes they'll have like date nights. Like they should have another date night tomorrow night. Because that's a thing they just started doing, is weekly date nights. Which is nice. It makes them get all active and go do stuff and have like a schedule and stuff. And it's really nice to see. But like they've had to cancel a lot of their date nights recently because of this or that. Just various things, various reasons. Like maybe the weather's bad, or like one of them's in a lot of pain because my dad deals with some severe chronic pain and my mom deals with mild chronic pain. But sometimes they can go out. Like they went to this comedy show this one time and they had a blast. It was nice to see how happy they were, how they were all chatting about it when they got home. Like, oh my god, Sammy, you can't believe it. Oh, damn. Holy shit. Yeah, you know what? Fuck your dad. That doesn't sound very responsible. Yeah, that you know. Dude's trying to be like Genghis Khan. My goodness. There's a lot of children. Yeah, that's crazy. 18 at the very least. Over 18. So many. Like, has this dude not heard of protection? There's this cool thing called contraception. Don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's really useful for preventing you from inadvertently making more offspring. Ooh, yeah, that is definitely a concern. That is a very reasonable concern. So if like you meet somebody, you're like, hey, I think you're cute. Can we do a DNA test real quick? That would be insane. But also like, yeah, you gotta play it safe. That's crazy. I can't imagine dealing with something like that. That's crazy. Having a bunch of half-siblings all across the United States. Like, how do you deal with that? Like, how would you like avoid that? That's a very valid point. That reminds me, I don't know if you've ever watched the show House MD. You know, the Dr. House show. The doctor guy who has the disabled doctor guy. That reminds me of this one episode. It was this couple. I think they were engaged. They were either engaged or married. I don't remember. But like, I remember they both fell ill with the same condition or disease or something. Whoa! Cool. But it was crazy because like the big reveal of the episode was that they were actually half siblings. They were neighbors, and what had happened was the guy's dad, they thought he was racist, and he had committed, you know, he had done the thing, he'd committed at some point, you know, and I'm a surgeon. Oh no, not that guy. That's the Good Doctor that you're thinking of. I'm talking about the 2000s show. Yeah, that I refuse to watch The Good Doctor. Yeah, I refuse to watch The Good Doctor. Yeah, I'm talking about the actually good medical show. House MD, the dude with the cane. Hugh Laurie, that guy. The meme is pretty good. Yeah. But yeah, I remember that episode was crazy because like it turns out whenever the big realization came out, they were like, holy shit, your dad wasn't racist, he was trying to prevent incest. Because the girl was half black, or at least she thought she was fully black, but she was half black because she was like, no, it makes sense because I'm light skinned and people have said that our eyes look the same, and like it's because we're related. And like it was so sad because like the guy still loved her, but like there was so much conflict because this was new information for both of them. It was so sad. It's one of those episodes where like, yay, we saved the patient, but oh, it doesn't feel nice. It's very, very upsetting. I remember that. I hope you don't end up in a situation like that. Like you're dating somebody and then like it's like, oh fuck, we're related. What the fuck? That would really suck. Like, what do you do in that kind of situation? Like, genuinely, that's such like an important question. Like, I could understand like having like really like existential thoughts and like not knowing what to do with yourself because like there's just like so much that you didn't know you were doing. What do you do in that situation? Because you know that kind of thing has happened with some people. You know that there have been people who have done that, who have been through that whole situation and discovered that, and like, what? How do you cope with that? That's crazy. Cause like I have a sister, and like I know something crazy is that like only children have a tendency to not really get it quite the same level. At quite the same level, but like discovering something like that is crazy. I'd love to see like first-hand accounts in real life of people discovering that. Like, what are their thoughts? What went through their head when they found out? How did they address the situation? What did they do after finding that out? Crazy. Like, what do you do in that situation? Especially if you're married. Like, how will the divorce play out? It's gonna be a really awkward divorce. It'll just be like, we're getting a divorce. Oh my god. I mean, like, it not really, because like, yeah, it's a very like conflicting kind of thing because like you weren't raised together. It's like the same thing. It's like, well, not the same thing. It's like the opposite of being adopted siblings. So like if you're blood related but you don't really like know that, then like you didn't really, there's no moral failing technically, but like if you continue to endorse it after finding that out, then the problem will happen. I don't know. I don't know. We were talking about half siblings and then I got in this whole discussion. Because it's crazy. But like, it's complicated. That's the thing about these things, is that like, it's really complicated. Like, if you have no idea that you're related, then like, there's no actual technical moral failing, because how are you supposed to know? It's not like you just have like some sort of like sixth sense, like, we're related. Like, no, nobody has that. Nobody can automatically tell like that. It's difficult, but the moment you do know, that's whenever like you can either choose to like continue doing what you're doing and like actually do something morally deplorable, or you can fix an accident and not do that anymore. And then like with adopted siblings, that's where a moral conundrum takes place, because like if you're raised together from like when you're little, and like you are raised as siblings, you view each other as family, and then like you get in a romantic relationship with your adoptive sibling, then like that's weird. Like, you were raised as family and you want to bang your family? That's weird. That's fucking weird. Like, I know you're technically not related, but like, still, like, it's weird. That's really strange. Because like, I saw Reddit posts like that where like this parent was like freaking out because their two children, yeah, Alabama, their two children announced that like they were in love and that they were going to get married, and that they were adopted, so they're not related, but they were raised from like babies together. So like it was just this really like big deal, and like it was weird, and like everyone was like, this is weird morally because they were literally raised as siblings. Why are they in love? It's social incest is kind of what it's like. Oh my god, I remember that. That shit was crazy, cause like at first I was kind of like, cause it's technically supposed to be a horror game, but like the creator romanticized it, and that's where the wee woo, we have a problem comes into play. But like getting doxxed is a bit, that's a little too much. Like, that's crazy. But like, I just remember finding out about that, and like, it was an interesting idea. Yeah, the incest cannibal game, and like that's an interesting idea conceptually, because it was supposed to be a horror game and the characters were morally deplorable, but like it was romanticized. They romanticized the incest. Why the fuck would you do that? That's nasty. That's crazy. Why would you do that? Don't do that. That's not good. It makes me think of, this is gonna be a bit of a throwback, that game, My Boyfriend. That fucking game, when I heard about the idea of like a dating sim, but it's like actually a horror game with a stalker, I was like, wow, that sounds so interesting. And then I found out the fucking creator romanticizes it, and like, I was like, what the fuck? No! You ruined a perfectly good idea by turning it into a fetish. How could you? I was so upset because I thought it was such a cool idea. Because like, it instilled like this sense of, like this deep sense of like fear and disgust whenever I was watching like a weird like non-con stalking, just general like creepy stuff like that. Like, that's a whole, or not My Boyfriend, it's called Your Boyfriend, that's what it's called. I don't know, the name's weird like that. Yeah, Your Boyfriend game, that shit. Yeah, it's an erotic horror visual novel. It's literally designed to be fetishized. And it is 18 plus, so George, do not look any deeper than like just basic information. But I remember Manly Badass Hero played the demo of it, and it was really interesting. And he literally stated, this is really interesting conceptually, and that was before the information about the creator fetishizing it became public. And then after that, he was like, whoa, no, that's not okay. Like, you can explore morally bad topics like that, but you have to do it right. You have to be careful. You cannot romanticize or fetishize it. You have to be very careful with how you present sensitive topics like that. You have to be very careful, and you have to know how to properly represent them. If you fetishize or romanticize these things, then like you can cause some serious harm to people's perceptions of these things. You can like endorse the romanticization or fetishization of morally deplorable actions, and like some people are like, oh, you could just like choose not to believe what you see, and like, sure, but like not everybody can do that. Not everybody has the skill or the capacity to just process things like that. And besides, sometimes that influence is subconscious, as in you don't have any control over its influence over your beliefs. So that's just kind of something you need to be careful with. Because like these things are really interesting and like a depiction of them as bad things, but like when you're depicting them in like a good light, then like that's when things can go really wrong. I don't like purity culture in the sense of like these things should not be represented at all. I think yeah, that whole thing is crazy. Yeah, there's some morally questionable, spicy content out there. You need to be very critical about how you like judge and interpret things, and that's a very important thing, but you also have to acknowledge like the dangers of romanticizing certain things. And it is a very, very complicated and loaded topic. But it's just important to hold like a mostly neutral standpoint whenever observing and analyzing these things, because like you need to like understand like the point, you need to understand the intention, and you need to understand how this may affect the public. It's really complicated. That's why there's like degrees in like professional classes on this kind of stuff, because it is extremely complex. And it's important to have a good moral compass, but like it's so complex. Wow! Which one is this? Which one is this? Let me see. Wow. So holiday. That's the one. Yeah, this whole thing about like morally questionable or morally dubious topics it's very much like you gotta walk on eggshells with that kind of stuff. You need to be very careful with how you present it, how you interpret it, and how you perceive it. It's very much like a mixed bag, and like regardless of how well you represent it, you'll still get people who are like, how dare you depict this thing at all? How could you? And it's like, well, there's this really cool thing called awareness, which is really important. I don't know. That's a whole loaded topic. That requires a lot of, like, that requires a lot of skill and knowledge and like understanding of how the human psyche works and like understanding how it works in like a public sphere. You're getting all excited about the music while I'm talking about such a serious topic. That's the beauty of chats and stuff. Well, the interesting thing about that is that whenever it comes to like pressuring people into religion, is that it's not really about like it's this weird interpretation that you can only follow morals if there's something you're afraid of. Like a big root in Christianity, modern Christianity specifically, is fear. So the reason why a lot of people have a very negative view on Christianity is because a lot of people try to pressure others through fear. That is not where the roots of Christianity come from, but that is a lot of modern people's interpretations. Yeah, I'm not personally religious, but I like to view religion through a cultural lens, because religion is very important to human culture. I do believe in its importance. And I am not religious at all, but I still think it's interesting in both a cultural and artistic perspective. And I understand hatred or dislike. Yeah, I understand why you'd feel that way. It could be trauma linked, could just be through like the way people have behaved with the excuse of said religion. I totally get it if you dislike it. Yeah, I just like to hold a very neutral standpoint because of the fact that, like most things, it's complicated. And besides, you can find beauty in a lot of things. You don't have to. That's your choice. That's totally your choice. I don't know. I like to learn and I like to be open to things. Because, like, you never know what you could find. It's like going to a gross beach and finding, like, and, like, looking around. If you feel like looking around and, like, oh, I found something that's kind of shiny. That's cool. Anyway, I'm leaving. This is a nasty beach. But it's also important to acknowledge things, like, how, like, here, I'm pretty sure I'm the only American in this chat. I am the streamer and I'm American, but Christianity is an extremely huge part of American culture, and I have to remember that and acknowledge that. Yeah, OMG, imagine being American. Yeah, Christianity, like, they say there's a separation of church and state, but that's not true. That's really not true at all, because culturally, the United States is Christian. And there are some objective faults to that. Excuse me. I wasn't really raised Christian, but I was raised with Christian beliefs. Because it's just kind of something you can't avoid here. So, I was like kind of Christian as a kid, but then I was like, I learned about atheism and I was like, oh, interesting. And eventually I was like, I am officially an atheist. Because this isn't really something that I really actively believe in. Yeah, that's exactly the reason why I view religion through a cultural lens. I don't need proof if it's like an aspect of culture, just like... It's one of those things where people have made things up as like a way to attempt to explain things. And we've hit a point where we don't really need that as much anymore, but people still use religion as like a coping mechanism. They use it as a source of comfort, or it's just a part of their culture. It's still an important part of But it is culture, though. Human culture is built off of religion. It wasn't until much more recently where we were able to separate religion from a lot of our things. Like, just like a couple hundred years ago, the idea of separating church and state was like unfounded. Like, that was just not a thing at all. So it's easy to say that religion isn't culture, but objectively it is. It is a huge part of human culture. Like, the Fertile Crescent, for example, like, you got, like, the Babylonians, you got, all the early civilizations, they had religion as their backbone. Atheism plus nihilism. I like to think of, like, I just like being open to things, because, like, I have a very realist standpoint on things, but I do lean a little bit optimistic sometimes. But that's just because I like to I'm just a very passionate person, and I like to find a lot of interesting things. I like to see a lot of like good stuff in, like, the little details. But that's also partly because I'm an artistic person. I'm an artist, and I just see art in everything now, and it's just changed my perception of a lot of stuff. And, like, learning history has been a big aspect of me viewing religion the way I do. But yeah, that's, like, really toxic, unhealthy kinds of perceptions of religion. No, there's meaning and purpose. Every little aspect of the world matters. I mean, if you can get sick from, like, just a few microscopic organisms, that's a big impact on you. Something you can't even see can completely change you. It can even kill you. But, like, that's crazy, because it's like those are so small you can't even visually see them. And they can still do so much to your body. So, like, it's easy to think, like, oh, I'm so small and insignificant. But the thing is that you are significant. You may be small, but that doesn't make you insignificant. If even microbes can drastically change things, then what's stopping you? I care about those little guys. I'm an artist, but I'm also a biologist, you know. I care about those little guys. I care. Who cares? I do. I care a lot. I've got a big heart, and I like caring about things. And I like spreading joy, and I like stuff, and I like things, and I like learning, and I like sharing the things I learn. And I'm just a giant nerd. I'm a giant nerd, and I like sharing my nerdy interests and my nerdy love. And I like just spreading that joy, but not in a toxic positivity kind of way. Absolutely not. Fuck toxic positivity. You know, it's funny you say that, because I've been thinking about, like, with my anniversary, like, I'm gonna be upgrading pretty much everything. I've been thinking about, like, a glasses alt. I think it'd be fun. Because I do wear glasses in real life. I just never drew them because I hate drawing glasses. Yeah, it's pretty difficult, but you also used to view autism as a bad thing like most people, but that also changed. An inherent aspect of humanity is our ability to change, our ability to learn and change. Nothing is permanent, nothing is forever, life is lived in phases. What is that? What does that mean? You said that twice now I'm curious. What is this? I'm looking. This is some silly thing. Some silly thing on TikTok. What is this? I don't use TikTok. The flying spaghetti monster of TikTok. That's cute. I like that. That's cute. Man, I didn't know I'd be able to miss out on something. Interesting. Well, that's what it is. It's a parody on Christianity. It's a cute creature, though. I don't know. I've just always been someone who can see the art in many different things that a lot of other people can't. It pisses off the shitty Christians. Because the thing is that the reason why I say modern Christianity whenever I talk about the bad stuff is because, something happened and things went bad. So, like, a lot of people, like, have these really unhealthy beliefs that were pressured onto them. It's very much like, this is gonna sound wild, but it's kind of similar to generational trauma in a sense of, like, instilling this fear because your ancestors did the same, but somebody fucked it up somewhere. Somebody fucked it up. And I think it was whenever it was like the invention of like the different subsections. It's wild. Yeah, not to mention it's mistranslated all to hell. Like the biggest homophobic line, that whole thing, that was mistranslated. Or not, it was intentionally mistranslated in the 40s, the 1940s. So that is a super recent thing. With the whole excuse of blah blah blah, the Bible, fuck you, like that whole shit. Like that's a very recent development. Like using the Bible as an excuse for that kind of behavior. Like there's so much of history that is involved with that kind of stuff. Like a little fun fact, not actually fun, but in the, you know, the World War II stuff that happened, a lot of important medical advances and queer and trans research was destroyed, and it set us back like an insane amount with that whole like understanding and progression of things like that. World War II fucked up a lot of things, to be fair. Yeah, some asshole made a mistranslation, and somebody, like, several years later was like, hey, your publishing company mistranslated this one line. And by that point, when that was pointed out to the original publishing company, it was too late to change it. Oh, jeez. I don't know. I respect the belief of religion. I respect the practice of religion. But if you try to pressure it on me or on others, then we will have problems. If someone wants to convert to your religion, they have to do so willingly, of their own agency. You should not have to pressure someone into doing that. And that is where my belief stands in regards to like conversion and all that stuff. Like the reason why there's a lot of dislike surrounding Christianity on the internet is because of the general like pressure that some people put on like conversion. Yeah, nice 3+ hours stream. Talk about all the controversial shit. I respect the religion itself, but like, you have to understand like a lot of the history surrounding it and like what happened, and like, there's certain like sects, like S-E-C-T, I can't really say that word very well, but there's a lot of like sects of Christianity that like kind of the general like bare bones, like the base origins, those are really interesting. And besides, it's important to understand these things to understand a lot of world history. a lot of the like AD world history. Oh yeah, thanks. But it's just important to understand a lot of things because a lot of modern and postmodern history was influenced by that. Because, like, there's no way to really separate religion from culture because religion is inherently a cultural thing. Like, a huge aspect of, like, here, I'll give you a great example. Ancient Egypt! That old-ass kingdom that lasted thousands of years, a huge aspect of their survival was their complex religion. The thousands of gods they had. Like, those things were super important to their whole structural system, their political system, their ways of life. And then there's, like, the Aztecs and the Mayans with, like, sun gods and stuff like that. I don't know that much about Aztecs and Mayans, unfortunately. I need to do some research on that. But, yeah, but we don't know that, George. We don't know that. We do not know that for sure because we have so little records that have survived since then. So it's hard to say. But the only thing I'm saying, I'm not saying what's more. Oop. Oop. Hold on. Why is this? I'll allow it, I guess, but I'm not sure what you're saying. But, the only thing I'm saying, I'm not saying anything about, like, which is better, which is worse. All I'm saying is that religion is culturally important. That is it. That you have to understand how important religion is to culture. That's the only thing. I understand dislikes and criticisms and hatreds and all that stuff. I completely understand. Not like I can stop you from doing that. You're your own person. That's for you to decide. Yeah, I'm just saying it's important to acknowledge its role in culture, in human history. Just like with art. It's the same thing. It's all important. Everything's important. It all matters. Everything matters. Even the smallest drop of water can send huge ripples throughout a lake. Everything's important. Everything matters. I matter. You matter. Everything matters. That's my only point. That's it. It all matters. Silk Song. I don't know if I was able to ever get to that. Well, obviously we can't change history, but what happened in history does have an important role in how we can shape the future. Because history formed the past, formed the present, and the present can form the future. So it is very, very important to learn. Besides, history can repeat itself, and we don't want to repeat the bad things. So that's why it's so important. Everything matters. It all matters. I mean, hell, this is gonna sound wild, but in like the southern United States, this is gonna sound like conspiracy theory territory, but it's actually a very, very reasonable explanation for certain like patterns and stuff. But back in like, I don't fucking know, the Cretaceous period or something, there was like a whole like sea shelf in like around where Alabama and stuff is now. And then like thousands of years later that drained away, but it left a bunch of calcium deposits. And calcium is really good for growing cotton. And can you see where I'm going with this? Well, anyway, that general area is now consistent of blue counties in the United States because of the general population. That is true, but I'd like to enjoy what time we have right now. I'm just doing what I do best. I'm making art, I am talking about the things I like, just sharing cool stuff, because sharing is my love language. I'm just doing my part. like we do have the do like world domination. I don't know about that. Yeah, this art stream is bonkers. I would feel bad for anybody that decides to randomly hop in and talking about like crazy shit. I don't know. I suppose I probably should have ended like about a half hour ago. Whatever. It's fine. It's fun. You know what? Yeah, I'll end now. It was an interesting discussion. But like, I don't like thinking about the end. I like thinking about the now. Because what we do now will have an impact on the future. That's very true. I don't know. I found a lot of love in a lot of things lately. Just in general, through like my recovery with my chronic illness, I've discovered a lot of wonderful things, finding a lot of joy in stuff, and joy in creating and sharing things. It's just, recovering has shown me so much good stuff, and that's just why I have such like a general like warm view of things. I see the beauty in things because I'm no longer suffering like I used to. It's nice seeing so much good stuff, enjoying so much good stuff, enjoying every little thing, every little bite of food, every video I watch, every song I listen to, every piece of clothing I wear, like all the little things. Just being able to enjoy things. It's been such a wonderful experience. But that's why I have such a oh my god, don't remind me of that. No. That was a mistake. I don't even know how I did that. Time blindness is a wild, wild experience. That was my In-Stars in Time playthrough, by the way. I had to chop up the VOD into 3 pieces in order to upload it onto my VOD's channel on YouTube. That was a very wonderful game to play, but I made a mistake. I made a mistake playing that for so long. Anyway, I'm done chatting. I'm just such a like a cheerful individual now, purely because of the fact that I'm not miserable anymore. Shut up! Don't tell me that! Shut up! No, I don't! Honestly, I forgot about that. I forgot I had that until you mentioned it. But anyway, thank you for visiting. This was an enjoyable chat. A lot has happened today, but you know what? Shit happens. Well, thank you so much for visiting. I hope you have a good day, and as always, farewell.